Everyone's chasing money like it's the ultimate prize. But what if I told you that that's actually the lowest form of wealth? There are four levels, and money is only level one. The real flex is mastering the ones above. In this video, I'm breaking down the wealth hierarchy, a mental model that will change the way that you look at success forever. Because once you understand what truly matters, making money becomes easy. And stick around until the end of this video because I'll show you how to operate from the top tier, the tier that secretly guides every decision, relationship, and dollar that you'll ever make. So let's break it down because most people get this completely wrong. Most people chase money because money is the most obvious. It's measurable, it's visible, and it's immediate. But what people don't realize is that in order to gain massive wealth, there are key levels above money that make you operate in a way that actually creates exponential growth on your entire wealth. Not just dollars in a bank account, but your entire life. And don't get me wrong, I used to operate like most people, where the only thing I would focus on was the dollar sign, the amount of profit I was bringing in, the amount of revenue. But the problem was every single time I would make money, I would also tend to lose it or squander it or not take it with enough authority to keep it going. And if that sounds like you, then you're in the boat of 99% of people because that's what we're taught. That's what we're trained to do is focus on the dollar sign. But in reality, once I started changing my mindset and focusing on what I believe truly matters, that's when I started seeing the money come in very easily. I didn't feel like I was working as hard for my money, but it would come exponentially. So let's break down the four levels of wealth and how you can start utilizing them to reach true success in your life. Level one. Level one is money. Money sits at the bottom of the pyramid because at the end of the day, making money is important. It gives you freedom, it gives you options, but there's more things in life that you can do in order to reach true growth. So money sits at the bottom. But let's talk about level two. Level two is what most people overlook. And when you're talking to a lot of online gurus or people in the industry, they say that this level is not as important. But I believe this level sits way higher than money because this is what drives exponential results. So level two. Level two is relationships. Relationships are so important in the game of success because who you know actually matters. And it's not just who you know, but it's how you curate that relationship, how you make people feel, how you make people want to do business with you. So relationships, most people view it, if money is your number one priority, people view relationships as transactional. They only want to become friends with someone if they are going to make them money. But that's the wrong way to look at it. That is the pyramid flipped where money's sitting at the top and that's all you're focused on. But relationships don't always have to drive money, especially drive money immediately, because people think like this. People say, okay, I want to become friends with this person because if I can close this deal, then that's going to make me X amount of revenue. And once I make that amount of money, I'm not going to talk to this person again because I don't need him anymore. And that's such a bad way of looking at it because at the end of the day, you don't know what that relationship can blossom to in the long term. And that's what you need to start thinking about is the long term. So that's level two. Level two is relationships. What's level three? Level three is something that most people overlook, and it's actually accumulated through the journey of level one and level two. But level three is knowledge. Knowledge is the only asset in your life that multiplies no matter where you apply it. And the best part, it can never be taken from you. Knowledge and experience is one of the few things in this world that nobody can actually take from you. People can take money. People can burn bridges in relationships, but they cannot take away your knowledge and experience. And that is something that can exponentially grow. Because let's say you built a business that was doing a couple $1,000,000. Well, that business could go away. That money could go away. But your experience and your knowledge of how you built that business is far more important than the actual business itself. Because at the end of the day, if it did go down, you have the knowledge and experience to go build another one because you know how to do it. So knowledge is extremely important, and that needs to be a top priority in your journey of success because that is something, like I said, nobody can take away from you. So if money is the tool and relationships are the network, Then knowledge is the blueprint. Knowledge is what allows you to operate in those sectors professionally and articulate your words and be able to hold yourself in a way that people are actually attracted to and not just getting blown off or not just thinking you're doing it for the money or for a quick money grab. Knowledge is what sets you apart in this world. So now for the top level, the level that guides every single relationship, the knowledge you learn, the money you make, and really your entire life. This level for me is the most important thing in the entire world. But this level can have different definitions depending on what you believe. But level 4 is spirit. Spirit is what guides everything in your life. And it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, you believe in God, or anything of your beliefs, you cannot disregard that there is spirit inside of you. And if you don't have spirit, if you don't have that little fire pushing you, you're probably not going to make it very successful. But everyone knows that there's a spirit that drives you. And whether you're Christian or not, it doesn't matter because the spirit is what guides everything. If you have bad spirit and bad morals, your relationships are going to be terrible. The knowledge you're going to learn is not going to be beneficial, and ultimately, you won't make that much money. But if your spirit is aligned with authenticity of exactly who you are, then you'll be so blown away with relationships that just come into your life, people introducing you, money that's being made from it, and the knowledge that you're acquiring through that process. So you need to get your spirit aligned. And the best way to do that is to operate in true authenticity. Most people nowadays, especially in the social media world, are not authentic. They show you what they want to show you, but they don't show you what actually matters or what's happening behind the scenes, the hardships, the things that they've been through. They operate in this flexor mentality that makes them showcase this grand life that everyone wants to be jealous of, but in reality, that's not what it is. So authenticity is what drives the spirit. Because if you're living unauthentically, your spirit is getting eaten away every single day. So you need to operate in the spirit of alignment. And the way that I learned how to do this is to practice true candor. I tell people exactly what I'm thinking, regardless of how I think they're going to take it. And sometimes this needs to be filtered out. You know, you can't tell everyone to screw off, but you can operate in true candor. If someone asks you a question about your life, answer as honestly as possible, as transparent as possible. Don't try to put on this facade that everything in your life is going phenomenally and you have this perfect life. And when I started truly practicing radical candor, that's when I started to see that more people were actually attracted to me. And I thought it was the complete opposite. I thought that I had to put on this persona of who I wanted to be in order to attract the right people. But it actually pushed them further away until I started operating very authentically. So let's go back through it. Wealth is dictated by these 4 levels. The spirit guides the knowledge. The knowledge helps build the relationships, and relationships helps you build wealth. And that is the key to this life. Because at the end of the day, if money was at the top, then everything else is out of alignment. Because if money's what you're focused on, your relationships won't be fruitful, the knowledge you learn is not going to be beneficial, and your spirit is not going to be authentic. So flip the way that you look at it and focus on getting yourself aligned. Focus on the knowledge that you're getting. Focus on the relationships that you're building for the long term. And then and only then will the wealth start growing exponentially. So if you found any value in this video, hit the subscribe button. I'm not here to sell you some course or some $25,000 mastermind. I'm here to give you advice that has worked for me, and hopefully it works for you. So drop a comment below of your favorite insight, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified when the next video drops. We'll see you then.